Oh, but they told you not to go to your village though, because they didn't want you to connect to your roots. And it's the reason why most of us are dying. So my dear, what you do with this is start the journey of knowing who your people are. You talk about having generational blessings in the church, but you don't understand what generational means. Generational means from the previous to now to the continuous to the all next to come. So if you talk about generational blessings, then common sense should tell you, you should know your generation, the genealogy, where your people are coming from, where your fathers are coming from. I was also told never to go home. Going home is one of the keys. Going home is one of the fundamentals to uncover why you are here. If you don't know this secret, let me tell you this secret. There's a secret in going back home. And the secret is it helps you know why you are here. Because the pastor wouldn't be able to tell you why you're here. The imam wouldn't be there. Nobody, the traditionalist, the priest wouldn't. Nobody can be able to tell you why you're here except your family home, your father's house, your ancestral home. That is when you actually go to discover who your great-great-grandfather was. The one that has just reincarnated and has become you. Are you understanding what I'm saying? Welcome once again. I get excited. I tell you, every time I get to do this, I get to really answer your questions, the questions that you put through to me. And some of the times I'm not able to come on social media to respond to all of them. So I take this opportunity to answer the questions that you are asking me. And I got a very interesting one. So I'm going to take my time because I feel I really need to break this down. So I'm going to take my time to answer this, and this is to you that asked me this particular question. So you said, I've been a Christian all my life because I was born into a Christian family. My father died a year ago, and my father was a preacher, and before he died, he said that I shouldn't ever go into my village, which is background. I'm just paraphrasing the question. And that if I go, they will kill me. But after he died, we had to go to the village to bury my father. And when we went to the village to do so, certain rituals were supposed to be done before they could bury my father. I was confused at this stage because I said a preacher and certain rituals to be done before they can bury him. And once those rituals were done, my father started speaking through a woman that I've never met, I've never seen. And the things that the woman asked me, or the things that the woman said, let me put it this way, things that my father would only know and nobody else. So this was the person's question. So I want to know if what happened at the funeral is actually my father speaking, and if what do I do with a command that my father gave me that I should never go to my village because they kill me? So this was the person's question, and of course I don't want to disclose their identity, so that I can keep answering your questions, so you can keep asking me all the questions you want to ask. First and foremost, your dad was sent back to the village to be buried. Died a year ago, was a preacher, and told you never to go to your village. So obviously you never did. You never went there. So the problem is now he has to be buried in the village. And when you went there, he's a preacher. So I'm guessing his preacher friends, pastors, what have you, would come around the village, right? But they said before they can bury your dad, they had to do certain rituals. And I understand what was done. And after the what was done, a manifestation happened, and the woman who you've never met or never knew your dad started saying things that only your dad would know. What do you do with that? Listen to the message. I mean, since you said to yourself that everything the woman said are things that you know and your dad knows, and there's no possible way this woman can know. At least that's confirmation right there for you to know that there's no way this woman can make it up, or there's no way this can be staged. Another thing too is, if your dad was a preacher, according to you, your dad was a preacher, and in Christianity you are told that when you die, you go and wait for the judgment, right? So probably in Sheol, or what some people want to call paradise, and is waiting. What business does he have to come into the traditional setup or the demonic thing, as most churches would want to prefer it to be? So, like, I'm taking my time to explain this. If what your dad believed in is what he died with, then obviously he should never show up at any setting. Or let's look at it this way: if the gods are supposed to be devils and demons, then there should not be a single way that will give them the avenue to tap into your father's memory and pick up things that only your father and you knows. These are the possibilities that can happen, right? That some way, somehow, the God went, or the God has been a family spirit as the church would want to say, that has been monitoring. That's how come the gods know the things that your dad knew, and how come they're saying it. So he staged. So literally, this stage thing is done by the gods. And like, if I went deeper, people will know that you said that the woman spoke in your father's voice. Okay? What business has the preacher got to do with the surroundings that he manifested in? What business is the preacher got to do? Like the church people put it, what business has darkness got to do with light? And they tell you, don't be equally yoked with unbelievers. So these people are supposed to be unbelievers, right? So what is your dad's essence, energy, crap doing there? This is one of the things that let us know in our science that we don't die, first and foremost. And our cra, just as it possesses this physical body, can possess any other body. So your cra can possess the animal's body, your cra can possess the tree's body, your cra can possess every other body out there. Your cra has no limitation, has that power. And it's that possession that people want to call it demon possession. So any available physical body that makes itself available, your cra can actually possess it. So I can literally possess your physical body and use your physical body to do certain things, and it's not any demon, it's just me. And even the definitions of a demon is like disembodied spirits, right? That's the definition of a demon. So if a cra is disembodied from its physical body, then it means the cra has that ability to do anything. But don't wait only till you die. You can still do this while you're alive. You want to know what to do with what happened. My point of view is keep the information that came up. If you know the things that your father said make sense to you because they are all the things you and your father knew, then work with it. Okay, and also the basis of whether it is a sin, it is evil and all of that. If it was evil, what business does your father have to do with such manifestations? And if, better said, why didn't your father stop it? Oh, okay, when the pastors or the church people that they don't have any power over their body, so they can't do anything. That's why Abraham couldn't do anything. So your father couldn't stop it. But then again, why didn't the angels stop it? Why didn't the angels that comes with your father's, when your father preaches and the Holy Spirit and all of that, why didn't they stop this pedicle so that it doesn't get you confused? Because now you're on the verge of going on this journey to discover everything that your father preached against. You know, to me, it's a sign for you right there to start looking into who you are, your father's people, your backgrounds, and your families. That's what you got to look into. You understand? Because if you don't look into this, you come to this place where you begin to understand this just happened. It's either you totally ignore it never happened, you come into denial, or you actually embrace that this happened and start asking questions. Now, your father says, don't go to the house, they will kill you. Your father never came to the house, but he's still dead anyways. Think about it. He says, don't go home, they will kill you. Your father didn't go home, was preaching. God and Jesus and all these people were supposed to protect him. The angels, Holy Spirit was supposed to protect. He still died anyway. And you say it wasn't even up to 80, right? He died anyways. And now you are in the village burying him. You've done the burial. You've come back to the city and you're still not dead. So what did your father believe? What was his belief system? What made him say that? Everything that made him say that is the very tool he uses to preach. Fear. You understand? Fear is the reason why your father said, don't go to the village. Because the point is, if your father is this powerful preacher, should he be worried about, I can go anywhere. I can go to any village. I can go. I'm not worried about that. You understand? And I would tell you to go to any village. And I'm not worried about anybody doing anything to you, because I understand the fact that nobody can touch you. So I don't have that presence around me. But your father that is supposed to be a preacher is afraid for you going to the village because they will kill you. Then I don't understand. Was he not praying? Is his prayer not supposed to protect you? Is his prayer not supposed to protect the family? Is his prayer not supposed to protect everything that he cares about? Why is he praying in the name of Jesus and worried about some witch in the village killing you? Now, if you didn't have, your father didn't have his family, where were they going to bury your father? So death has nothing to do with spirituality. It's not because you went to your village. So now, if you're going to die, you're going to... How many people have been dead outside their villages? In cities, in cars, in plane crashes and all of that. They were not in their village, but they still died. You understand? So the fear of treating death as the end of the story is what is actually preventing a lot of things from living, from enjoying their lives, because they are so afraid you're going to die. So die. If it's time for you to die, die. That is not the end. It's you're just transitioning. You're just evolving. Listen, so whatever reasons, I didn't even ask you what killed your father. Whatever reasons be it that your father died, he still died anyways. And now you've come out to the village and you're still here. And two things have been said to you. First and foremost, you can go to your village with anything happen to you. It's a necessity that one goes to their village. And I pray somebody ask me the question why, and I can answer that. You have to go to your village. Everybody has to go back to their root. At least once in your lifetime, go and honor where you're coming from, where your ancestry is coming from, where your fathers are coming from. For you to understand what the story is. For you to know what your family's people were supposed to be doing. Why your family was established. For you to understand which energies are behind your family. Which gods, which powers. What kind of dimension is your family operating in? What are the things that your family can do? What are the things that your family cannot do? Which families can they marry into and can they not marry into? And please don't tell me with all this advancement of life, why are you still subjected to the old ways of not marrying? Listen, do you know how many marriages are struggling? Do you know how many people are living lives as what have you? Anyway, the point I'm making is that you've experienced yourself that going back to your village did not kill you. And it won't kill you. And your father's body is taken back to the same place that he was preventing you to go back there. Now he says don't go to your village. But you're going to go anyways because you're going to visit your father's grave. You're going to do the 1 year's anniversary, the 5 years, the 10 years, the 20 years, and it counts on. Is it not the same village you're going to go? Oh, but they told you not to go to your village though, because they didn't want you to connect to your roots. Sankofa. And it's the reason why most of us are dying. So my dear, what you do with this is start the journey of knowing who your people are. Start the journey of knowing who your father's people are, your mother's people. Connect to them. If we all disconnect and we kill our souls, we kill our families, we kill our roots, do we expect the next generation that is coming after us to honor us? Because you're going to be a great-great-grandfather to somebody else that is yet unborn, right? Don't you wish that your great-great-grandchildren understand the struggles, the things that you had to go through? And if you set up a system, if you set up a structure, a family, a legacy, a business, wouldn't you want your great-grandchildren to understand how to run it? To how to turn that into a generational blessings? You talk about having generational blessings in the church, but you don't understand what generational means. Generational means from the previous to now to the continuous to the all next to come. That's what generation simply means. So if you talk about generational blessings, then common sense should tell you, you should know your generation. The genealogy, where your people are coming from, where your fathers are coming from. I was also told never to go home, but until I went home, I was never on this journey. Going home is one of the keys. Going home is one of the fundamentals to uncover why you are here. If you don't know this secret, let me tell you this secret. There's a secret in going back home. And the secret is it helps you know why you are here. Come on. There's a secret in knowing who your fathers were, who your grandfathers were, who your great-great-grandparents were. The secret is helping you discover why you're here. Because the pastor wouldn't be able to tell you why you're here. The imam wouldn't be there. Nobody, the traditionalist, the priest wouldn't. Nobody can be able to tell you why you're here except your family home, your father's house, your ancestral home. That is when you actually go to discover who your great-great-grandfather was. The one that has just reincarnated and has become you. Are you understanding what I'm saying? When you go back home, you go to discover you. So at least two things. Your father's cry manifested back home for you to know that you have to go back home. He didn't know any better because he was programmed with the church with indoctrinations of the church. He was programmed to think like that. But as soon as you die, all the programming wears off. It is till you die that you begin to really understand what knowledge is about. It's till you die that you really know. Wait a minute. And everybody that people say, well, have you ever died? At least we've spoken to, if you've ever spoken to your ancestors, your parents, those who came before you that are dead and gone, and you have real conversations with them, you would never ask the question, have you ever died before? Do you understand? So please, enjoy the process that you're on now. Enjoy the journey. Don't do it with fear. And don't let that fear cripple you from discovering who you are. That is the secret of going back home. You get to discover why you're here. You get the secret? Going back home helps you to know why you're here. Why you chose that particular family to come into. What is in that family? What is in this family? What made me decide that I want to come into this family? That's what going back home means. And I promise you, your life can never be the same. I hope I answered your question, and I'm waiting for more questions. I love you guys. I'll see you soon.